I don't regret anything. So Marianne, when I found that video, I wasn't looking, I was shocked. And I just went with it. And then I went to the next video where I saw your cousin giving his testimony. And I just went with it. Okay. I just want to touch on voices for a minute here. Now, Marianne, I remember giving a testimony of this. I remember one day I was heading towards the bathroom and I heard in my head, hate, 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 3 times. And I'm thinking to myself, I never even used the word hate. I said, this must be one stupid demon or MK Ultra just failed. I never used the words hate or stupid with my children. This was not allowed in my house. I would tell my children, I've never met a stupid person. Ignorant, yes, but stupid, no. Never. So when I heard this, I knew that this was not for me. It was not my thought. It wasn't even a thought. It was so separate, very clear, yet in my head, saying hate, hate, hate. Completely something that I never even thought of. But I'll be talking about this in part 3. I'll be going into a little bit more about MK Ultra. Bernadette, I want to thank you very much for bringing this generational curses to the table here. It is truly something I really want to talk about here, and I'd like to share with you something concerning this generational curses with incest. Now, Marianne, I don't know if you know this, but it was my cousin who was my spider. My first cousin. My cousin had 4 sisters and 4 brothers. And it's the older sister, Tammy, who I'll be talking about. And my spider, my cousin, his name is Ronnie. They both have passed away. It's been a few years now, several years. Now, my aunt walked in on Ronnie in the act with Tammy. My aunt grabbed Ronnie and pulled Ronnie off. Tammy threw him out the door, out of the bedroom, and shut the door. My aunt left Tammy there nude, naked. and alone. My aunt never comforted Tammy, nor did she reassure Tammy that it wouldn't happen again. The next day, nothing happened. Turn the page. This reminded me right away of what happened with me in the bathroom with my mother. When I was asking her not to go out that night, but not being able to put it in words why, she looked at me and she said, "What, are you being molested?" She knew. She put it in words for me. Now, my cousin Tammy and I were about 7 years apart, 8 years apart. Right? So that, I'm trying to put the age together when this happened, but there was a birthday party, and it was my aunt's birthday party. And there was some drinking. Everybody at this point was, getting along. But there was something about my mom who hated alcohol. She just hated it with a passion. It was just a pure hate with alcohol and cigarettes. And so when things got a little, pushy, my mom would pull us out of it, and that was it. So we left the birthday party. It was the next day I heard that Tammy had been drinking, and my aunt had said something which was a trigger to Tammy, said something to Tammy, and she went up and she just backhanded her. The reaction to that was the brothers went and they started pounding on Tammy. And Tammy left there in an ambulance. When I heard that she was in the hospital and that this was going to be a lifetime thing for her, that she would feel pain for the rest of her life from that day, I was angry. I knew Tammy was alone again. But I didn't know how to reach out. So Tammy had enough, and she had 3 kids by now, and she took the 2 boys, she packed their bags, and she knocked on the father's door, and she walked away. She ran. She didn't walk, she ran away, leaving everything behind. She had a little girl. She tried to keep the little girl, but she couldn't. Tammy was completely broken. The family had completely disowned her. I was angry. I was angry for the things that they were saying about Tammy. That I said to myself, if I have a little girl, I'm going to name her Tammy. And everybody's going to have to say her name. In love. Many years later, I explained this to Tammy. She liked that idea. She liked it. I was so angry that I was screaming off the rooftops, and I was telling everybody everything. I remember my mom's sisters coming at her and saying, "Listen, you got to keep Kelly quiet." They were so afraid that Ronnie would end up in jail. Even Tammy said, "Kelly, I don't want him to go to jail." I never hated my cousin Ronnie. Tammy never hated her mother. She never hated Ronnie. We hated the sin. It was the sin. When I started to heal and I started peeling this onion, I remember asking Jesus, where does it come from? Where does the sin come from? How old is this sin? And that's when I heard the garden. Bernadette, it's so true, that people really need to understand and really need to understand what it means, generational curses. You know, my aunt, with the 4 boys and the 4 girls, there was a lot that went on within that family. My aunt was angry before she left. She showed a lot of anger. My cousin, one of the brothers of the family, he was stabbed to death at a very young age on his mother's birthday. Kim, one of the sisters, MS. The youngest, terrorized all the time. Fear. She lives in fear. The other sister, same. Pain. Lives in back pain. Excruciating pain. Lives in it. And Donnie, who needs constant care and is also in pain. Oh yeah. Generational curses. So thank you, Bernadette, for bringing this up, and I really hope this helps the cause. I really do. And I'm praying for your breakthrough. That also was really good news. It takes courage to heal.